April 14th. At the moment of crisis for the nation of Israel, just when it desperately needs bold leadership, David steps up, kills Goliath, leads a rout of the Philistine army, and in one afternoon becomes a national hero. He is promoted to general in the army, marries the king's daughter, and becomes a favorite of the troops and of the people. God's hand upon his life is evident to everyone. And King Saul's jealousy of David grows until he not only tries to personally kill David, but he also directs his staff to kill him. So Saul is now actively working against God's plans. His desire for self-preservation has crowded out his ability to hear from the Lord and to obey God's will. Contrast this with David, who refuses to lift his hand against God's chosen leader. David flees for his life and travels to see Samuel, the undisputed spiritual authority in all Israel. Everyone knew of God's direction over Samuel's life. The prophetic power around the man was infectious, and David, now on the run, needed spiritual reassurance, the companionship and the fellowship of those like him who loved and served the Lord. When faced with challenges, these two men, David and Saul, respond in extremely different ways. Saul is consumed with self-preservation and is willing to do whatever it takes to win. His win-at-all-cost attitude is the opposite of David, who, even when his life is on the line, has boundaries and convictions that he will not violate. Saul is easily willing to abandon his convictions to get what he wants, while David values his convictions above even his very life. This is God's great qualifier for leadership. God wanted a leader for his covenant nation who would obey him, who would hold firm to those convictions and boldly follow God's will in the face of whatever opposition he faced, whether external acts such as invading armies or internal within Israel such as pressure from advisors or negative public opinion. This is what God wanted but couldn't get from Saul, what he found in David, and what he wants from you and from me. God is actively raising up leaders like this. The world needs them. Our country needs them. The church needs them. Our families need them. And God is asking this of all of us. Here's today's application. How are you responding to your challenges? Are you holding firm to your convictions and obeying God in the midst of the opposition you're facing? Or are you compromising your convictions? Are you giving in to fear or temptation? Today, hold fast to that which you know in your heart is true. Hold firm to your convictions. God is waiting to help those who will trust in him. Now here's today's prayer.